Hey gang, it's Kevin Brown. Wanted to stop by with a hero moment. And I actually wanted to finish a story. I told you the story the other day about my post-run thoughts about the mental playlist, that loop that we have playing in our mind. I want to tell you the rest of that story. When I got done with that run, and that was a pretty long run for me, that was a little over 6 miles. And for me, that's a long run. I know some of you are like, yeah, okay, I do that before I even eat breakfast. And I get that and I appreciate that. But for me, that's a long run. And I was tired. I got back and I was winded. I was having some water, and as I sat there, and I wear a running watch. I wear a Garmin GPS running watch. It tells me where I've been. It tells me how far I went. It tells me how many steps I took, what my pace was, my cadence. Important information for runners to have. And when I got back, I was sitting there, I was sipping some water, cooling down, and 10 minutes into my cool down, my watch buzzed and made a noise. Now, this is a smartwatch. Now, it's not a smartwatch like an Apple Watch. It's not going to read my email or text, and I'm not going to watch TV. I'm not going to talk to anybody at the space station. It's a smartwatch. This is not that smart of a watch. But my watch made a noise, it vibrated, and I looked down, and it said, "It's time to move." Move was in all caps, and it wasn't just "it's time to move." They put an exclamation point on it. It said, "It's time to move." And at first I was appalled by this. I thought, you were just with me on this run. You know how far I went. You know my breathing was labored. You know that my hip hurt and my knee hurt. You were with me this whole time. It is not time to move for Kevin. No, it is time to sit. And my watch vibrated again and it said, "It is time to move," with an exclamation point. And what I realized is my watch was just doing its job. It was just telling me it's time to move, that I've been idle for too long. It's time to get up and move. And it might just be to limp over to another chair and sit down, but to move and to not sit and do nothing. And that's where we're at today. You see, what I've learned as a leader, as somebody that has been through crisis, has been through hard times, who's been on the edge of giving up multiple times on several days in a row. As a leader, I know that it's time to move. And not only is it time to move, it's time to move boldly, all caps with an exclamation point. It's time to move boldly and to be creative. Listen, you've been preparing for this your whole life. You've been through hard times. You've been through the lean years. You started your business, you grew your business, you rose through the ranks, you did what you had to do to rise in your organization, you built a team, you built a system, you built this business from nothing. And now's not the time to sit down. Listen, if you're a mom, you're a dad, you're a leader, you're a teacher, you're an educator, you're a healthcare person, you're in the military, whatever your role in life is, you've been here before. You've been through hard times. And I'm telling you right now, the time right now is to move. The time is to be bold. The time is to take courageous action. The time is to take risk and seize an opportunity. Listen, you know how many companies were started in the 2008, 2009 recession? A lot of companies like Uber, Venmo, Square, companies that you would recognize were started in the midst of a great recession. You see, if you take the risk, you have a chance to have an opportunity. But if you do not take the risk, you only have an opportunity to see what you missed. And see, it takes bold movement. You have to move boldly toward creativity. You have to think like you've never thought before. You have to see and process things differently. You have to create a justice league around you who can advise you, who can weigh in, because so many people are depending on you. You've been preparing for this your whole life. I know that you are capable. And just like my watch told me, when I was tired, my watch knew how far I'd been. They knew how much it hurt, but my watch was telling me it's time to move. And I know how far you've gone. I know how far you've come. I know how much it hurts. I know how much you don't think you can take another step, but I'm telling you it's time to move, and it's time to move boldly. Leaders always move boldly into the uncertainty. And the only thing that they're certain about is that they will figure it out, because they're resilient. They're resilient in their effort to make things better for the people around them. You've been preparing for this your whole life. I want to encourage you to move boldly. I want you to move boldly with creativity, with courage. I want you to move in the direction of your most dominant goals. Go and serve. Find new ways to serve. Look at new opportunities. Explore avenues that you have never thought of before. Pull out that list of ideas that you were going to work on when you had time. Now is that time to move boldly toward the next chapter of your life. We'll get through this, and we'll get through it together. Move boldly toward your goals. Move boldly toward the next season. We're in this together, and I can't wait until the next time that I see you and spend a few minutes with you. This is Kevin Brown, and remember, the world needs your hero.